Hello, everybody, and welcome to our new features webinar. So happy to have everybody here. I see that you've already started writing a little bit on our chat. We're going to give people some time to join, like a minute or two. So feel free to kind of write on the chat a little bit and kind of get to know each other. I see we have a bunch of people from Canada, so that's always exciting. A lot of people from the US. Super happy to have everybody here. We're going to wait another minute and then we're going to start this show. Okay. So I hope you guys all have your morning coffee ready and kind of set to hear what's new with Connecteam. We're very excited for this session. I know I've been preparing for this all day. Hopefully you'll find this beneficial for you and you'll like everything that you're going to see. So I think that we are good. Let me introduce myself. My name is Avery. I'm a customer success manager here at Connecteam. I'm also responsible for various projects regarding your implementation with us. So the things that we're going to do today, of course, is talk about all of the new features that came out in the recent month. I will tell you that we are still working on a lot of stuff, so this session might be a little bit shorter than the other webinars that we had before, but we still have a lot of stuff coming up as well. So a few guidelines before we begin. First of all, feel free to ask questions, but make sure that you ask them in the Q&A section. We have Nate here from the CS team, and we have Sean here also from the CS team, ready to write and answer anything that you might want to know. I will also give some time between features so you can kind of write and get answers. In the meantime, I might tell you something about the features or maybe share a few insights with you while you get your questions answered. If you don't want to ask any questions, that's really okay. But if you want to show some love to the members of the team or anybody here that has joined the session, feel free to do that in the chat, which I see that you're already using perfectly. So that is amazing. The third thing, that this session is recorded. So if you feel like you've missed something or you want something to be repeated and we don't have enough time, or something happened and you have to go midway, it's really okay. I won't be offended. You will have this to rewatch and kind of get all the insights again. So don't worry about that. It will be uploaded to our YouTube channel in a few days. And the very last thing, this session is for you guys. We want to let you know what is new. And of course, we want to know what you want to hear from us. So once this session is over, you will receive a survey to give us your feedback. And this will be the most important part for us as a team at Connecteam to get your insights and to see what kind of content you want to get from us as well. Now, in terms of the content of this webinar and the things that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about different capabilities, and they vary in the type of plan that they are on. So each one of you bought their own hub with different types of plans. So the capabilities might not apply to you. You can go back to your subscription and see which capability is relevant for you. So without further ado, let's start talking about the features, shall we? The first feature that I want to talk about is, of course, the most favorite one, the time clock. Now, the time clock, like you know it, of course, is to help you manage your day-to-day operations and perform payroll in the fastest and best way possible. In order for you to do that, we want to help you out and make every action or every process as simple as possible. And one thing that we are really putting an emphasis on is integrations. Okay, and I'm very happy to announce that we have a new integration with Gusto. So if you have a Gusto account, this is the perfect thing for you. And if you don't and you're looking for a payroll platform, go ahead and either go with QuickBooks, which we already have an integration with, or Gusto. In order for you to kind of set it up, all you need to do is go to your timesheets tab right here in your time clock. All right. And when you click export, you will have the discover integrations button. This is where you set up the integration itself. You click that and you get to the settings. Of course, you can either select QuickBooks or Gusto. All right. Now, the first thing you want to do is connect your account. You can either sign up to a new one, or of course, select one that you already have. And then the next thing that you will have to do is sync up the users that you have on Connecteam and the users or employees that you have on Gusto. They will be matched based on their first name, last name, phone number, or email. Now, once you connect, the system will do this for you. So as you can see here, the employees that you already have will be matched automatically with the people that you already have. You just need to make sure that they have the same information. Now, you can either do this in an automatic way and start matching the employees, or if you find that some of them are not connecting automatically, you can of course search for them and kind of find them wherever they're supposed to be. Now, another way for you to match your employees is by either importing the users from an Excel sheet, or of course, adding them manually by yourself. So that is also an option, okay? So the first thing that you wanna do is match your employees, all right? Either automatically, or you just search for them. If you don't wanna do that, you can either import them or add them manually, as you can see here. Now, in terms of actually using the integration itself, all you'll have to do once it's synced up is do a few things. First of all, of course, like I said, match your employees. And the next thing that you want to do is match your payroll cycle. You have to make sure that your payroll cycle at Connecteam and at Gusto are the same. So you want the information to be the same so it'll be accurate. That is one thing that you need to make sure that both platforms are working on the same kind of language if you want to. We will export the time, and we will export the regular time, the overtime when it's 1.5, and double. These are the overtime that we will export for you guys, all right? So this is a very exciting thing for us. We are working on more integrations as we move forward to make this process as easy as possible for you guys, okay? Now, once you actually want to perform the export itself, and you're not sure if you understood how to do this, if you click on Connect, you will see a tutorial video here made for you. You can also go to our help center where we have an article, step-by-step article explaining to you how you're supposed to do this. I can guarantee that it's super simple. I've done it myself today. It's very, very simple. Okay, now if you have any other questions, of course, you can keep asking on the chat. Okay. Um, I do want to tell you guys that at the same time, we are still working on other features and other integrations. Most of them are requested by you. So it's something that is very important for us to let you know that everything that we are working on, every new capability, every new feature, most of them are requested by you guys. We gather all the information from you. We have a board where we kind of look at everything and decide what is best to give you. So by giving us that feedback, we're creating things that will help you out in your business. Now, this is for Gusto. You can keep asking questions if you want. I am going to move forward and talk about custom export. Now, this is another capability that we've released recently, and we're still working on and making it better as we move forward. One thing that you can do, of course, once we want to export, is regarding the overtime that you have. Now, normally when you do the export, you will just get the overtime column and the number of hours. Now, if you're on the timesheets tab right here, the first thing that you can see is if you hover over the overtime, you can see how much you're spending. All right, basically on the overtime according to your settings. I've set up 2 different overtimes, 1.5 and a double overtime. And you can see how many hours my employees have had in terms of overtime. And this information can be exported in the timesheets. All right. So if I go to my timesheets and I export it, I can actually see 2 different columns with each different condition that I've made regarding the overtime. So when you're doing payroll, when you're doing an inspection or monitoring your hours, you can see exactly how many hours your employees are working on. So it's something that is very important, was highly demanded by you, our customers. You can keep asking any questions. But another thing that we have regarding export is data layers from the job scheduler. Now, of course, first of all, you have to have your job scheduler and time clock synced, but you can take that information and export it as well in the custom report, right? You click the export, you do the timesheets, and then you can select which data that you want from the job scheduler. On my healthcare time clock, I have medical kits, and of course, I'll have another column showing me exactly what I have and how I've allocated my resources. So that's another plus for you guys to kind of manage your business in the best way. That is it in terms of the time clock. We've talked about the Gusto integration. That is the second integration that we have alongside QuickBooks. We are still working on more with Xero and ADP coming up. No set ETA yet. I don't want to promise you something that I can't guarantee for sure, but of course we will let you know. Look forward to our emails with the magazine, with the spotlights, and of course an invitation to this webinar coming forward next month. Now I want to move over to our next feature, which is the directory feature. Now, the directory feature, of course, is like a phone book for you, for all of your employees, and of course, any work contacts that you might have. It's a great way for your employees to get information regarding phone numbers, people that are working in different departments, emails, etc., and get that information as you want them to have it. Now, something that we have developed is permissions, viewing permissions for your employees. If I go over to the options, settings, now, normally it would say either nobody can see anything or everybody can see everybody within the account. What we have developed is that mobile users cannot view anyone except users within the same kind of group that they assign to. Now, these are our custom fields, custom user field that you have created. And most likely, if you have smart groups, you've created smart groups based on that. And then basically I can kind of differentiate who can see what. So if I'm part of team A, I am a user, I will only be able to see people from team A and not other people. So if you have different locations, different teams, different departments, and you don't want them to make mixed up with each other, or they're not supposed to connect with each other, you can limit that as well. That's one thing. Another thing that you can do is have only specific selected users appear on the directory. So that way you still have all the information that you need, but you selected what you wanted to see. This again was highly demanded by everybody, especially if you have a big business with a lot of departments, a lot of teams. This is something that is super, super important for you. Okay. Now I do want to move over to the next feature, but before I do want to talk to you about the work context, because this is a subject that has been coming up recently in our department. And I want to let you know that this is something that if you're not using right now, you have to use it starting from right now. This is an amazing, amazing feature. And I think this will be a life changer for you. I'll give you a few more minutes to ask more questions if you want. And the next feature that I'm going to talk about is the chat feature. Again, this is something that was really, really requested by you guys. And, you know, the chat sometimes could be something that is pretty regular for a lot of people, a lot of messaging platforms out there. But something that we want to make sure in terms of communication is the first thing that is important for us at Connecteam. We want to make sure that you have perfect communications within your company, either within the chat, forums, or any other feature or way that you want to. Now, normally, if you want to reach out to a user, you would have to go to the chat feature, open it up in a different window, and start chatting, right? So sometimes it might be not that intuitive. It might interrupt you in the middle of something that you want to do, maybe payroll, maybe scheduling. So sometimes it could be a bother. So what I want to show you now, I'm going to send a message from one of my employees. And I'm going to see, I want to show you something. You can see right here, this is a brand new capability that we have. This is super simple. Another way for you to see, you can also see a notification here that you have a new message, but this is a real game changer. You can do your scheduling, you can do your payroll and see that you have a new message. We're working on having it as big as possible. So you'll have this. You can also close it if you want. And then if you click it, you have this window opening up. You can still remove it if you want and keep doing whatever you need and reopen it again. And then you see all the conversations. You can go to the chat feature if you want, or you can even start a new chat, a new team chat, perform everything that you want without losing everything that you're doing behind the chat. So this is something that is super important. I also want to remind you of two capabilities that we've had, which I hope that you're using. And it's a great thing for user engagement. The first thing is, of course, that you can react to any message that the user sends. So this could be something really, really great to show your appreciation for your employees. And of course, if there's like a group message and there are many, many messages going back, you can of course select the message and reply directly to that. So in terms of making sure that you reply to everything and nothing gets lost, this is a great way for you to keep your conversation strict, organized, make sure nothing gets lost. So this is again an amazing capability that I hope that you've already been using. Okay. So I'm going to give you a few more minutes to ask questions. I see that there are a few. Don't worry, Nate and Sean are here to answer everything. And of course, if you've lost something, again, this is recorded and you will receive this on YouTube in a few days. So don't worry about that. Okay. Awesome. So I think I'm going to move over to our last feature. This is a feature I can guarantee is growing in popularity so much, which is the user rewards feature. This is an amazing way to keep your employees engaged, happy, and by the end of the day, perform to the best of their ability and let your business grow and get your customers satisfied. All right. So this is a great way for you to kind of keep your employees happy, keep them engaged, and have them use the platform really. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. And what I'm talking about are automations that we are working on. Now, this is just the first revision that we're working on, but I want to show you what we have created for you. So this is the rewards lobby. And of course, you can purchase any tokens, you can send tokens. That is perfect. You also have the cards library right here. We're adding more and more cards to different regions around the world all the time. So notice that as well. But if you go over to the options and settings, you will see you have two new automations. You have the auto rewards, which basically means that you can create two automations. One is to have a reward sent out to your user if they open the app for 30 days in a row. Now, this is a great way for you guys to kind of give your employees a way to really get together with a program. What I mean that sometimes you have employees, new employees, old employees, that are kind of set in their ways and they don't want to change anything. This is a great incentive for them, excuse me, to use the app, to open the app and kind of get your appreciation that they are willing to give it a shot. They're open for change. And this is something that you can do. This is automated. You can do this very, very quickly. And the feedback that we have received from customers regarding this is amazing. Now, handling your business, handling payroll, scheduling and everything, and rewards can be a bit much. That's why we want to help you out with auto reloads. You have two types. The first auto reload is when you hit a certain balance that falls below a certain amount, you can get an auto reload. Okay, so you just put your information. Of course, I haven't put in mine yet. So let's say that you want to have certain rewards be sent out automatically, or you send out rewards and you don't want to deal with buying them all the time and requesting them all the time. You can just set a certain balance that if it falls below, it'll be added automatically. So again, a time saver, making the system automatic, making the system work for you. So that is one option that we have. Or if you don't want to have this be automated, you just want to know that you've reached a certain balance, you also have the balance notifications. So this is a great way for you just to be notified that when you reach a certain balance, it's time for you to maybe purchase some more, especially if you see that it's working well with your employees. One second. Great. So this is regarding the rewards. I remind you that anything that you might want from any feature, you can always reach out to your customer success manager, or if you receive one of our feedback emails, please respond to them, and we'll be more than happy to hear out any feedback that you might have. Of course, respond and make the product better for you guys. So we talked about the time clock, our integration with Gusto, and the new information and separation that you have within the custom export. We talked about the directory where you have viewing permissions. It's not all or nothing. You can set it up according to which group your employees are a part of, or just selected users. Of course, you can also, we talked about the chat, where you can have the easy access from the icon right here. You can just open it and have the, the chat not interrupt your day-to-day. And the very last thing, of course, is the rewards that we just talked about right now. Now, before we move over, and I want to share a small, let's call this spoiler or teaser with you guys. Don't forget that you have our help center right here. We release new articles on new features and new capabilities all the time. So if you need something and you're not sure about something, don't wait. Just go to the help center. We have so much information there. And if you need more, again, reach out to us. Let us know what you need. Now, one thing before I finish, there's a little spoiler alert. This is something that we are working on. And again, something that is highly demanded by you guys. I can't give you an ETA just yet, but there's something that we are really excited about, which is the documents deadline. Now, the documents is a relatively new feature that we've released and already being adopted so much by you guys. And what we want to do is basically have it work with you and have it kind of a deadline. So if somebody uploads a document, either per the document itself or per the user itself, you can set an expiration date, and then you know that you need to revise it or upload a new one. So this is something that is coming up hopefully very, very soon. And I hope you're excited about this as we are, or excited regarding everything that I talked about so far. And I want to thank you for the very last time for joining us. It's been a pleasure being with you. Unfortunately, I couldn't see your faces, but I have seen a little bit of your messages. Hopefully, one of you has been with me on a training, so maybe you saw a familiar face. Again, you will get the feedback survey. Please answer it and let us know if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if what you would like to see in the future. So thank you very, very much. Have an amazing day. I hope your business continue to grow with us, and we are looking forward to seeing your success. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, guys.